In this lesson, we'll be learning how to use reduction formulae, negative angles, as well as co-functions. So, we know the table for reduction formulae and negative angles. So, I'm not going to draw it. I'm just going to refer and you guys will go check it. So, let's start with tan 205. We must reduce it. Write it in a more simplified form. So, what is tan 205? Because it's 205, it's in the third quadrant. It lies between 180 and 270. So we're going to use the formula for 180 plus. How much do we have to add to 180 to get 205? Well, we have to add 25. And then we go to cos 315. 315 is between 270 and 360, and that is the fourth quadrant. And therefore, we're going to see the cosine of 360 degrees minus, how much do I have to minus from 360 to get 315? I have to minus 45. So I will say minus 45 and then multiplied by the sine of, because it's sine, it's 135, it's in the second quadrant. I'm going to say 180 degrees minus, and how much do I have to minus from 180 to get 135? So if I say 180 minus 45, I get 135. So I have to say 180 minus 45, and then I close it, and then I go below. Then I have sine 210. 210 lies in which quadrant? In the third quadrant, and I'm going to have the sine of 180 degrees plus 30, because it's in the third quadrant. It's 210, and we say 180 plus. How much do you have to add to 180 to get 210? We have to add 30, and then we've got the cosine of 150 degrees, which lies in the second quadrant as well. And I'm going to say 180 degrees minus, how much do I have to minus to 180 to get 150? Well, I have to minus 30. And then I'm going to, okay, let me write that nicely, because it looks like a 50. Okay, so I'm going to have minus 30, and then the last one, we're just going to leave it the way it is. That's tan of 25. So now we're getting to the actual business here. Okay, so because tan 180 plus is in the quadrant for tan, it means that tan will be positive, and this will be tan 25. It's because 180 plus is in the third quadrant, and tan in the third quadrant is positive. Hence we say positive tan 25. You say tan or sine or cos, then the number which we have added or subtracted, and then you multiply it by, it's cos 360 degrees minus, and it's the quadrant for cos. It means cosine is also positive in this case, and that will be cosine of 45. Then you multiply by sine 180 minus is the quadrant for sine, and this will be sine of 45. And then below we have got sine of 180 degrees plus. Remember, 180 degrees plus lies in the third quadrant, and sine in the third quadrant is negative, and this will be negative sine 30. Negative sine 30, and then we multiply it by what? Cos 180 degrees minus, it's also in the second quadrant, and cosine is negative in the second quadrant, and this will be 180 degrees minus 30, and this will be negative cosine of 30. Then multiplied by tan 25. So something important which you must be able to do here is that tan 25 is going to cancel tan 25. And now we want to know what is cosine of 45. If you use a special angle, cos 45 is given as root 2 over 2. And then sine 45 is also root 2 over 2. And then we go to sine 30. Sine 30 is given as, it's sine of negative 30. It's minus half, and multiply by negative cos 30, that is minus square root of 3 over 2. So what is half over 2 times half over 2? that will be 2 over 4. So it's square root of 2 over 2 times square root of 2 over 2, and that is 2 over 4. And then we divide it by what? Negative times negative is positive, and that will be root 3 over 4. And we are now approaching the final answer. So what we're going to do here, let me erase here and write it in a more simplified form. So I'm going to say it's 2 over 4, that is equal to 2 over 4, then I divide like this. It's divided by root 3 over 4. Then at the end I've got 2 over 4 multiplied by, because when I multiply I know that I invert, then this will be 4 over root 3, and our 4 will cancel our 4, and the answer is equal to 2 over root 3, and that is your final answer. So make sure you are able to use the reduction formula and the negative angles. First of all, you spot in which quadrant does it lie, then you use the correct formula for that quadrant, and you check is tan or sine or cos positive or negative in that quadrant. If it's positive, then you write it as positive. If it's negative, you write negative. Thank you for watching.